Hey, good evening. Good Tuesday evening to everybody. How are you? It's good to see you, and it is good to be seen by you. And I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic this evening, because I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. I mean, I could complain. I could probably raise up a lot of complaints, but who's going to pay attention, right? Anyway, I'm Bill Sylvie. I'm the Dungeon Delver, and I'm just pleased as punch that you're here. And I hope you're having a good day. Stressors are starting to relax somewhat. I'm getting a little centered. First of all, though, before I launch into any of that, I want to thank everybody for the fun we had last night on the live stream. And I do want to apologize, especially to newcomers, especially to people who subscribed to the channel. I forgot to click that end credits button when we wrapped up last night. If you felt like things were a little out of sorts at the end, that they just sort of ended, it was a cold ending is what it was, a cold ending where we did not do end of the show credits. I promise they will be on there tonight. Now, we have some good fun planned tonight. We're going to talk classic RPG smack. And then at 9 o'clock, that's the top of the hour, we are going to play some first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And won't that be fun? I think it will. I hope you guys will too. We have got a good group. Folks, greetings, Chris, Jimmy, Collecting Chaos, Uncle Brat, Luther, Mead, Chris Sims, Christopher, to make that differentiation, Jimmy Invictus. Did I say your name? I'm saying it now. Anyway, so here I am, just kind of cruising through the day. Dropped a couple of videos today. Hope you guys saw those. If not, well, they're on the channel. You can go watch them. Don't go now. Stay here. Jolly Gaming, good to see you. Starlog, greetings. We need to play Hyperborea 3rd edition. Haven't played it. Bill, greetings to Bill, from Bill to Bill. Many Bills. I've got some stuff around here. Let me tell you what, even after circumstances necessitated the cleaving away of a large portion of gaming materials, Williams Peace, greetings. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for the belated birthday. I really appreciate that. I've still got a ton of stuff. Hyperborea may be in the stuff I've got. I've got so much stuff, I don't know exactly what I've got. But I do know old school essentials. I've got 2 boxes that are like AD&D box width and length, but they're like this thick. I've got 2 of those I can show you guys off one of these days. They're out in the den. You got to understand, when I get these collections, this is not a prop. This is not a green screen. These are bookshelves that are stuffed to bursting under the table, clustered around the 4-way plywood stand that is the center of this table. There are stacks of books that go from the floor all the way to the top. So there are like 2-3 foot high stacks. There are 2 totes. So you can see when I say I've got a lot of stuff yet, that I've got a lot of stuff. Oh no, Saxonies. That's, oh no. Ignore the gray plastic and white metal you see over here. No. There's plenty of painted ones. I showed them off last night. Roman Orc, greetings. Hopping in to learn, but I'm also distracted playing War Thunder. Uh-oh. Watch out for Spookston. I watch this guy's channel here on YouTube. He's got plenty of subs. You don't have to subscribe. I'm kidding. But I watch this guy's channel, and He's like, he bought. How do you do that game? Do you like buy the tanks? Or maybe it's World of Tanks. It's the one made by Gaijin Software. Like, do you pay? Like, you get one free, and then you like pay to get like you start out here. Here's an M3 grant, but if you want to break out your credit card, you can have an Abrams, like an M1A3 SEP V4 Abrams. You can have that one, and then they'll match you against people with similar tanks, so you're not driving around like shooting KV-1s from 3 kilometers away and then just laughing as you destroy them. But earn them by playing and researching Solitaire. Okay, all right. But no, Spookston, 2 lifetimes of stuff behind me to do. But anyway, so yeah, this guy's just like, yeah, this is a meme tank. This is lulz worthy. This, let me do it. Let me do a 6-minute video on why this like experimental French interwar, like between the 1930s and 40s interwar French tank is crap. And he then proceeds to just drive all over the battlefield, one-shotting people from hundreds of meters away. Yeah, so at the end of it, I guess it's an okay tank. I'm like, dude, this is like your meat and drink. But I have an entire bookshelf just for minis. I used to keep them in cases. I have they're great cases. I don't know if Reaper still makes them, but they're these they look like something you transport organs in, but they have stacked rows or stacked shelves that you put the minis in, and I used to store them in there, and then it occurred to me, well, I never get to see them. I never get to like walk by and go, oh, that's a cool mini. So I don't keep them in there anymore, and now they're on a bookshelf. So that is a thing. So to make sure I didn't miss 2 lifetimes of stuff. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, so a lot of people I have seen come into the Discord. The link should work now. By the way, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, do you guys have a Discord? Yes, it's down in the description and the link should work. I'm waiting till next week when the link stops working and this link is permanent, and then I got to go back through all the videos and edit and stick another link in. But folks in the comments, and the comments are haunting me. Let me tell you, if you've left a comment on the YouTube videos that I've done, and many of you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments. I first thought, okay, I can keep up with this. When I did some initial videos, like, WotC employees are revolting, and I got up the next morning, there's like 200 comments and 19,000 views, and it just kept going. And like, I would go to my YouTube control panel and say, okay, show me all the comments on my videos that I haven't commented on, that I haven't responded to. Good God. And I would sit there and I would go for an hour and an hour and an hour. And I would try to respond to them all. And then I'd get to the point where the buffering of the videos in the web or the buffering of the comments in the web browser would make it like unwieldy to continue to do that. So I'd refresh and there would be more. And I tried to keep up with it, guys, as God is my witness. I tried to get everybody's responses commented to. And that's still a goal, but it's rapidly slipping away from me. Although if your responses to the 2 videos I dropped today are any indication, it's going to become easier. I try and bring content you guys like, but I think the number of views and so on is not based on the content, because you guys seem pretty happy with the stuff that I'm doing. But I think YouTube, because it's less of a hot button thing right now, YouTube is pushing less of the Wizards of the Coast stuff to the front. So I think I'm moving back to, I need to build my popularity on the things that I do best. I'll keep reporting on the nonsense that Wizards of the Coast is doing, but it's just kind of funny to watch that engine churn. That's not why I told you this story. I told you that story so I could tell you another story. And that is that many comments in the comments, and we've even had some people come in the Discord and say, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons ever. I've never played a tabletop role-playing game ever. I've never played old D&D ever. People coming into the Discord and people leaving comments saying that they're interested in it. And so here we are, and I'm doing, as a public service to you guys, I will talk about classic first edition AD&D and original D&D. What'd you miss? You missed Tijuana Flats. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the pipeline, good for learning about classic D&D, and we're going to talk about classic D&D. I've just kind of talked smack, but one thing, and this is just like right off the bat, because this is something that for some reason, like, an aesthetically good thing does not need to make sense. Let me restate that. An aesthetically good thing does not need to make sense. Take a piece of art in any Dungeons and Dragons book. You got a sorceress rearing back to throw a fireball. You got a dragon heaving up out of a pool, getting ready to fight them. Does that make any sense? Does it? Dungeon Minister, greetings. WKRP was the best show on TV. But does it make sense? No, she's violating the laws of thermodynamics. That a creature that looks like that could not exist. It doesn't make sense, right? So if you can accept one thing, why can't you wrap your brain out of another? And to that, I want to answer a basic question, because this extends from original Dungeons and Dragons all the way to the end of second edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons. It persists in every form of basic Dungeons and Dragons. And it is in every slight tweak or variant where this is used. And it is quite simply, I am going to explain to you, if you're new to classic Dungeons and Dragons, I'm going to explain to you why armor classes get better as the number gets smaller. All right. When designing D&D, Gary drew from a lot of different sources. And there was, of course, Dave Arneson had huge input. Don't get me wrong. But I want you to think about positions in a race. Is the guy who comes in 10th the guy that wins, or is the guy that comes in first the guy who wins? The better of the two would be first. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? So There was a game called, I believe it was Ironclads. It might have been Ironsides, but it was an American Civil War naval combat game. And ships of the line of the Confederate and Union navies at the time could have tin, brass, whatever kind of armor put on them. And then, of course, you had the notorious ironclads, the Monitor and the Merrimack when they went at it. So the designers of this game rated that fire-hardened iron armor and steel plating that they put on those first ironclad ships, that was armor grade 1. That was top grade armor. Next down the line was armor rating 2, third armor rating 3, all the way up to armor rating 10, which is basically a wooden-hulled sailing ship. Lead-clad ships, there you go. Against cannonballs, against uranium, there you go. So that is the reason. That's where it was drawn from. It does not make any more sense for armor classes to go up than it makes more sense for them to go down. And you say, well, the math is easier if the numbers all just go up. Is it? Is addition necessarily easier than subtraction? And you say, okay, well, what if you've got plate mail that is +5? Plate mail by itself is armor class 3, that is without a shield. But +5, there's a plus next to it, and it drops. It drops to below 0. It drops to negative. How can negative be good? It's just the way the system works. It is neither good nor bad. It's just the way that it is. And say, well, just do it this way. It just makes sense this way. The way it was done from 1974 to 2000, and that's 26 years of the game. That's more of the game than came after it at this point. It just makes more sense to do it this way, has been the justification for a lot of different and not necessarily beneficial rules changes to the game. And so that's why in our circles, when we talk about ascending versus descending armor classes, we just know it. Armor class -5 is really good. Armor class 10 is really poor. Sam Gladden, you're insane now. Okay, so that leads me into the next discussion. That leads me to THAC0, THAC 0, THAC 0. I've heard all four. I've heard some people just say THAC 0, and then I've heard people say THACO. I've heard 6 ways to call it. So a lot of times when I bring up playing first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, people will say, lol, I could play it, but I'm never going back to THAC0. Well, when did you play? I started playing in like 95, 96. Well, you weren't playing first edition AD&D. First edition AD&D does not use 2-hit armor class 0 except in one place and one place only, and it is used as an index point. It is used strictly as an index point. Hello, Vincent. Good to see you. I need to do something here real quick. Pardon me a moment. No, 2-hit armor class 0, they go Tuesday, is used in the Dungeon Master's Guide, the first edition AD&D Dungeon Master's Guide. And as soon as I can get this pulled up, I'm going to show this to you guys. Let's see. But I want to go over here because I need to do a thing. Hopefully this will stay muted. It stayed muted. Ah, good. Okay. All right. I just needed to make sure that Kyle was set to admin. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys something real quick. Dungeon Master's Guide. That's almost where I need it. That's almost on the page that I need it. But I'm going to share this with y'all. All the way in the back of the 1E Advanced Dungeon Master's Guide is an index, and it is a very handy index to have. And I know for those of you that have been with the show a long time, you've heard me talk about this before. But we've got some new people here, and we can be nice to them. And I'm going to show you this is just kind of on a random page. I can go all the way to the top. There we go. So let me show this to you. Share screen, share screen, share screen, and a screen. Okay. If you look right here where I'm whoops, that went a little high. Where I'm highlighting 2-hit armor class 0. Right there. Ah. 2-hit armor class 0. In that top column where you can see the mouse. That and the explanation of why that is the only place in first edition AD&D where that appears. Jorge, that's the right idea. That is the right idea. So let's put this back like it was. Those pages are sideways in the Dungeon Master's Guide because they're in like spreadsheet format. So that's why that's that way. So here's why we don't worry about 2-hit armor class 0 in AD&D. And I'm about to show this to you because this is very handy. This is extremely handy. And you'll come to appreciate things like this. Where is it? Come on. Sorry if you're getting a little bit. Where is the chart? I have a terrible scroll wheel and it jumps around everywhere. So I'm just holding this down. Hopefully I'm not killing your eyes, like giving you tunnel vision or anything. Come on. There we go. We're getting to it. That's saving throws. We're almost to the tables. But you'll notice there are a lot of tables. There's tables. There's matrices. This is why these tables you see on the screen, this is why in classic D&D, you don't worry about a formula. Does it go up or does it go down? There's a table. Just look on the table. If there's modifiers, add them to the number you see. And voila. That's it. See? It's just a table. It's just a lookup table. And And if I'm being 100% honest with you, most of the times the dungeon master, he's not going to tell you what the creature's armor class is anyway, because he might not want to tip his hand. Black Bardigan, he's wearing what looks like big, bulky iron plate mail. All right. But he might not want to let slip that that's plate mail vulnerableness, or that it's +5 plate mail, or +1 or +2. All right, well, I swing my sword, and your 7th level fighter, well, he rolls an 11. Well, I look up over here, normally plate mail with no shield, that would hit. But I know Black Bardigan's got +5 plate mail. Well, that puts us all the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're 11, even with your total of 11 doesn't hit. It's that simple. It's just that simple. What if you don't know how to use a table? I know. That's very gatekeepery of me. That's very exclusionary of me. Hello, Lux. Well, thanks for sticking around. Goodbye, Lux. Why was descending armor class used in AD&D and D&D? I just explained, Vincent. I just explained to you, because the system was taken from ironclads and from the idea that first-grade armor is better than second-rate armor, is better than third-rate armor, is better than fourth-rate armor, and better, all the way up to 10. Now, here's the problem in AD&D, and I don't know if they fixed this in later editions of D&D, with 2-hit armor class 0. You will note in this chart, if you look very closely, you will note in this chart, several of these columns have repeating 20s. Why Gary couldn't have just used the numbers, I don't know. But repeating 20s are explained the repeating 20s, do I have that in front of me? Not immediately, but I can explain this off the top of my head. A repeating 20 simply means that the first number requires some combination of a 20-sided die and bonuses to hit. So if you need a 20 to hit armor class 0 and you roll a 19 and you have a +1 sword, you hit. Subsequent ones indicate that you need a base of a natural 20 in addition to any other bonuses to hit. And the further along you go, the more of those bonuses you need. Since the tables are formatted in such a way, you couldn't put 20, but you need a natural 20 plus whatever in each column. That's why repeating 20s are there. And that's where 2-hit armor class 0 in first edition AD&D breaks down. Bill Trethway asks, why are there different 2-hit charts for some classes, but not others like the Thief? Well, there are different charts. So we have an attack matrix for clerics, druids, and monks. They all use the same attack matrix. For magic users and illusionists who have a death wish and wish to engage in martial combat, they have a table. For fighters, paladins, rangers, bards, and 0-level halflings and humans, they have a table. But 1D1 attacks matrix for thieves and assassins. Thieves and assassins, same table. Does a nat 20 automatically hit regardless of 2-hit armor class 0? No, it does not. If you have a normal sword and normal strength, and you are fighting a monster, let's say you are a 4th level fighter, and you are swinging class 4. We can see here. Let me add that back. Let me add the table back. If you look at the 4th level fighter, which is right here, and go down a little bit, and you look at armor class 4, that is the 3rd repeating 20. So I have a normal sword. I have normal strength. There is no bless in effect. There's nothing giving any bonuses in effect. I'm just swinging on armor class -4. Hey, I rolled a 20. I didn't. I rolled a 16, but I rolled a 20. Do I hit? No, you don't. That nat 20 still requires at least a +2 because it is the 2nd repeating 20. You need a 20 plus some bonus of 2 or better. Why split it up and not just have a single 2-hit table for all classes? Because all classes don't fight the same. Magic users are poor fighters. Illusionists equally so. Thieves fight differently. Bards start as fighters. Rangers and paladins are a type of fighter. Halflings and human fighting men all have a modicum of peasant levy type training. They have different skill sets. Same for clerics. Clerics, druids, and monks, they are primarily of religious orders. Their martial training comes second. For magic users and illusionists, it's way in the background. For thieves, it's way in the background. If you're a thief and you're drawing your sword and going toe-to-toe, unless you're the Gray Mouser, you're doing something wrong. Something has gone terribly off the rails. So that is why we get the differentiating tables for each class. But to go back to what I was saying, you don't need formulas up or down. You don't need formulas. You have a table right here, and they are repeated in the Dungeon Master screen. You can print these out for your players. If your players are that desperate to have those numbers, print this out. Send them this page as a PDF. You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome, Bill Trethway. Modify. Okay. All right. Look, Mead brings up, unless your game can resolve Nevier stakes equations. Mead brings up, wait till you get to modifiers by weapon type. If you're speaking of weapons versus armor, every DM gets a pass on that to try it, see how bad it is, and not use it, because Gary doesn't. You can find the quotes from him. He said, I shouldn't have put that in there. It's not good. It's unwieldy and it's clunky. Acid reflow, would it not be simpler in that example for ascending? Instead of repeating 20s on the table, you would just have AC of 22 and have to roll higher plus some bonus. Not if you started here. Part of what, and look, I'm not going to addition more. I am talking about historical fact. Old edition Warring Bill is not coming back. But part of what turned me off about third edition so much was the vocal insistence that I change how I done everything to that point and switch over to the better way. It wasn't better to me. My mindset at that time, we have 66 people in the chat. Hello, all you nice people. please, if you're just coming by because of, the algorithm and you're not subscribed, please click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video and leave a comment. Give us a thumbs down if you don't like the video and leave a comment and let us know what we're doing wrong and we'll try and fix it. But if your focus is this, if your focus is these tables, then it's really Grimble, thank you so much. That's very awesome. I appreciate that, Grimble. But if this is your starting point, no, it doesn't make more sense. This is how you've learned to do things. And I hate to be the old dog you can't teach a new trick to. But in this case, I didn't find it any easier. So, and then when you start adding bonuses from feats and he's doing this to stop you, it can it can really slow the game down quite a bit, in my humble opinion. Just glance at the table. Don't worry about doing the math in your head. Roll your dice. I got a 14. Does that hit? Let me see. I know you're a second level fighter and your opponent has leather and shield. Yes, it does. Roll your damage. That's all. No heavy lifting to do on your part. You can focus on the cool stuff. All right? You can describe how your short sword, that's 1d6. Okay, 3 points of damage. You haven't had to do anything. Your turn can be like, all right, I drop to one knee and I wrap my arm around his calves and slice his Achilles. Cool points. Double shot, Danny, greetings. And acid reflow, I did not take that as an addition warning statement. I certainly did not. Believe me, I did not think you were coming at me with addition war. Ashen Walls, no, we have not started the game. The game is, we got another half an hour. So that's why. That's why armor classes go from high bad to low good, which is why the first couple of times I played 3E and the guy was like, I got an armor class of 23. I'm like, are you inside out? Are you naked and inside out? Why do you have an armor class of 23? Oh, well, you see, what you do is you flip old armor class and you add 10. So this would be the equivalent of armor class minus 3. And I was like, one of the robots from Mud's Women, Norman 23 coordinate. Or no, that's iMud. Sorry, iMud. My little necklace was starting to flash. Thaco or go home. Sad Wings is not letting it go. And then they did turn it into a formula in second edition. And they completely did away with repeating 20s. But this is what I know, and when I show this to people and I explain it to them, they kind of get it. They kind of get it. Unicycle Peon, greetings, welcome back. So that's really all it is. Jimmy Invictus, Sneaky Gary, inflicting things like literacy and math on all those unsuspecting gamers. So like I said, when I got the Dungeon Master's Guide, it sent me reaching for the dictionary and for its own index thing in the back, its own glossary in the back. And I loved that about the AD&D books. There's a glossary in Keep on the Borderlands that expanded my vocabulary. The glossary in the Dungeon Master's Guide expanded my vocabulary. Uncle Brat, you still like, I love it. Griffith Morgan, hello, hi, good to see you. Speaking of PDFs, let me see if I can find this real quick. If you're into, if you are only into RPG PDFs, do check this out. My co-host, who is currently writing herd on you guys out there in the chat, which is what we call our little group out there who make comments, the chat. But anyway, pick that up. It is a fine, lightweight role-playing game from Better Mousetrap, but it is written by one Kyle Schuant. And this is the PDF version of it. Do recommend. So give that a try, all of y'all. The Monster Manual sent me looking for ancient myths and legend lore. Right on. Had 1E since 81. Mix the rules with basic and expert. So that's something that our own Kyle Schuant wrote. When else was anyone going to learn what a melu was and when to use the word? I learned enough French from 1E to know that I wasn't interested when I got to high school. Now, Griffith brings up an interesting point. He says the Monster Manual is actually an OD&D item. I didn't, but I remember somebody asking Gary about that, and he got pretty pointed about the fact that it is absolutely an AD&D book. It was not intended as an OD&D book. OD&D was a closed a closed door at that point as far as Gary's development. He did not intend for it to be OD&D. There were aspects of AD&D that hadn't solidified yet, and you can certainly see aspects of OD&D as those ideas were still gelling, but it absolutely is an AD&D book. You picked up Unearthed Arcana and Fiend Folio for $30 each. That's nice, Jack. Awesome. As they are intended for razor blading. Uh-oh. You going to rebind them? Yes, when we say 1E, we're talking... just use them interchangeably, AD&D and 1E. Now, AD&D covers a wide range of products. It goes from 1977 to 1989, which, I mean, that's 22 years of AD&D. Has an edition of AD&D, obviously, first ed was 77 to 89, and then 2E was the next 10 years. It lasted until 99. But a lot of people think they're so close it makes no difference. I don't agree. But when I say AD&D, when I say it, talking about stuff on this show, when I say, as we read in AD&D, or as we've learned in AD&D, I am referring specifically and especially to first edition AD&D. 1E. So a lot of time, it does lead to some amusing miscommunication. Sometimes people, I'll say, yeah, I remember I started, I started playing 1E, and so I say, yeah, I did too. Yeah, my DM was real or AD&D. Yeah, my DM was all about AD&D. It was a little tough to get my head around, but oh yeah. What was your first module? Oh, well, it was all homebrew stuff set in Maztica. I thought you said AD&D. I did, man. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, first edition. No, I mean 2E. Oh. A hot take from Kyle there. AD&D 2E was even worse than Unearthed Arcana was Monty Hall. But is it worse than my heresy of roll 4d6, drop lowest arranged to taste, Kyle, which is completely valid and 100% supported by AD&D? High-res scans and a reformat into new editions of Player's Handbook Unearthed Arcana. Oh, that's interesting, Jack. Good luck with that. Mecha was better. Yeah, giant robots are awesome, Bob. You were working your way through when you bought the essential books off of Drive-Thru. Very good. There's a lot of ballardizing in 2E that I don't like. Roman Orc. The removal of assassins, the softening of language, the softening of artwork, the removal of half-orcs, kits, splitting, there's now wizards and sorcerers, and, the dropping of class level titles. Carol says, I'm starting to pick up on the lingo here, but sometimes it comes off as Spanglish. See. Don't worry, Carol. We'll help you through this. Griffith says, I tried AD&D. It was too restrictive and Greyhawk focused. Players use the rules to rule-splain me in my own world. Ran it once and dumped it. Well, that's a shame for you, because it's awesome. Roman Orc reading the 1E book just felt really all over the place. It seemed like each page was just another random roll. I don't agree. If you know where to find things, the Dungeon Master's Guide is very organic. I'll give you that. But the Monster Manual is laid out alphabetically, and the Player's Handbook is, it starts with, here's the characteristics and what each of them does. Here are the player races, and here are the classes, and here's your equipment, and here's the spells. The Dungeon Master's Guide can be a bit of a labyrinthian city. I get it. Can't find an OD&D where it says what type of die is used to determine hit points. Okay, so collecting chaos brings up an interesting point. When OD&D came out, it was not assumed or expected that you would be able to get your hands on anything other than D6s, weapons and hit points, and so many other dice, including combat dice in OD&D, are resolved simply using D6s, because you can raid your Monopoly game for D6s to play D&D with, kids. If you look in Men and Magic in OD&D, it refers to the D20 two-hit matrix as an alternate combat system. Different dice, different hit dice for different things, different damage dice, and so on. Those concepts were not introduced until Supplement 1 Greyhawk and later on. So that is that why the you don't see, you'll just say players should roll a die. You should use a die. Roll a die. Roll two dice. They're just referring to good old six-siders, because that's what every wargamer would have a cigarillo box full of. No Crown Royal bags back then. Crown Morgan. No Crown Royals back then. Now you have to find which box your Greyhawk is in. Yes, collecting. You gotta go find it. Stay logged into the chat. I don't want to see those numbers drop. Go find it. Viking Hat GM, using dice instead of paper chits in a cup is where the rot set in. Old School says 2E's was his favorite. They brought back Assassins. and a bunch more in brown and dark blue softback handbooks. I'll take your word for it. That is that fallow period, okay? Because I played AD&D through much of the 80s until I didn't through high school. And by the time I got back seriously into role-playing games, none of the people I gamed with wanted anything to do with D&D. I remember 2E was just coming out in 89, and it didn't look like the AD&D that I remembered, so I figured they changed it. I didn't know any of D&D's history at that point, by the way. I didn't. So, Roman Orc, I'm going to put that up on the screen because I think that's a darn fine question. Super chat or no? I'm gonna ask you that. Winter Wolf, hello. It's in my stuff. You know, the room where you toss your stuff, which you don't know what to do with. You mean this? I made a studio out of mine. I don't know what you did with yours. But yeah. When I got seriously into role playing after a few years of not in 89, my peer group just wanted to play Hero System, Rollmaster, MERP, basically anything but D&D. So it was a few years before I got bit by the AD&D bug again. Hello, Slender Dad. Good to see you. Slender Dad haunting the comments in my videos. That's always nice to see. So Roman Orc asked a question, and I think this is a fair one, and I like it because it speaks to the philosophy of old school. He says, I'm a little confused, especially about how a character may attempt to do something that isn't a skill they can do. For example, if a fighter wants to climb a wall, how does he do so? You tell me. Fighter wants to climb a wall. Did fighter bring pythons and rope? Did he? Generally speaking, AD&D and original D&D, and presumably, depending on how they run, the basics, D&Ds. If your character is someone who said, look, let me set aside reason. Consider yourself as a neophyte adventurer. You out there, you watching this video, consider yourself as a neophyte adventurer. And we've got a little bit, and I want to answer this, and then we're going to get into playing AD&D. Good evening, Matthew Sherman. Good to see you, my friend. Very few, if any of us here, are going to take leave of our senses and wander off into the woods to fight bears, alligators, wolves, mountain lions, North American badgers, snakes, dangerous spiders, tigers, bull elephants, etc., sharks, to get at something. But there are people who do. And they make sure they're trained before they go out and do that. The base assumption is that your adventuring character in classic Dungeons and Dragons has a great many skills already down pat. Climb a tree or a rough wall. Start a fire. Know which mushrooms to eat versus which ones to not eat. Let the druid eat those. All of those aspects and more are meant to be previously understood. If you tell me, all right, there's a rough wall in front of you, many knobby protrusions, that sort of thing. If you tell me, all right, my fighter's going to start climbing up it or climbing down it, I may deem that it is rough and filled with enough protrusions that it's not a problem. Assume a fairly slick wall with very little places to put your hands and feet. Then it becomes the purview of the thief. But once at the top, the thief can set a line. Or maybe you have a grapnel and rope. All of these simple things for which later editions, and I'm talking about starting in late first edition even, that started piling skills and feats and non-weapon proficiencies on to make separate die rolls. I want to step outside our encampment and drop trowel. Okay, do you have the drop trowel and poop without pooping in your pants accidentally feet or non-weapon proficiency? If you go out and you're going to become an adventurer, you've got these things down already. The important things: the fighting, the spell casting, the tracking, the lock picking, the praying, the healing. Those are all you need to focus on. Role play. Don't role play. And that is the baseline assumption of why things work that way, Roman Orc. And I hope that answers your question. And Jack points out the Dungeon Master's Guide does have secondary skills. It can be for a little bit of fleshing out. It can, but they're not skills to be adjudicated on dice. Exactly, Eric. Role play, don't rules play. So we're waiting on just two more of our Tuesday night players to arrive. Doomsword will be here in just a few more minutes. And of course, Baron, he will join us. But then once everyone is in the game room, once everyone is in the green room, we will start playing some first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons. I like that, Celestine Chaos. It's Dungeon Master's Guide, not Dungeon Master's Laws. I always thought one of the most beautiful things about the Dungeon Master's Guide is how it feels like a conversation between you and Gary. It really does. And I would argue that the Player's Handbook is much the same way, but the Dungeon Master's Guide really, really does feel like this, this is you and Gary talking about playing D&D. It's advanced because he came up with all these cool ideas. Check out the crowd all the way up to 80 plus. Yeah, I see that. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. If you've checked in, if you said hello, and I missed it, I apologize. If you've thrown a super and I missed it, I apologize. I will go back through real quick while we're waiting and make sure that I didn't miss anything. So I always like to give a shout out to the folks who, help out a little bit here, because we always appreciate it. Oh, Sam Gladden said, so sadly I accidentally, don't be sad. You started playing D&D where you started playing D&D. Sean, I miss Gary greatly too. Anthony Holdren, greetings. Good to see you. That's right. Ricky is playing Outlier, the Dwarf Fighter Cleric. Like the like button. Yes, indeed. But one of the most important things, and I don't care what edition of D&D you play. I don't care what you play. I don't care when you play. When I'm moldering in the ground and people have forgotten about me. I'm just a footnote on the internet that has to be spun up laboriously off of a hard drive if you want to watch videos of some old man talking about a version of D&D that nobody really cares about anymore. If that's the case, I still want this to be true. Prophet of Beans, full-time lurker, never seen 1E played in the wild before. Very excited. Excellent. I hope you're going to have fun. It is the spirit of the game, not the letter of the rules, which is important. Never hold to the letter written, nor allow some barracks room lawyer to force quotations from the rule book upon you if it goes against the obvious intent of the game. As you hew the line with respect to conformity to major systems and uniformity of play in general, also be certain that the game is mastered by you and not by your players. Within the broad parameters given in the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons volumes, you are the creator and final arbiter. By ordering things as they should be, the game as a whole first, your campaign next, and your participants thereafter, you will be playing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons as it was meant to be. May you find as much pleasure in doing so as the rest of us do. What's my take on OSRs like Osric? I think they're fine. I think they're all fine ways for people who perhaps don't have the wherewithal to pick up even the PDFs to get a taste of OD&D or AD&D. There is some fine stuff therein. So we're just waiting on a couple more players. Acid reflow. My son's high school had a gaming club where they ran Adventurers League gaming, never had school sanctioned stuff back in the 80s. Yeah, no, I don't think they were going to let us play D&D in school back then. The Hellfire Club thing in Stranger Things is... it would have been nice. Lord Corion has returned. Hopefully back to the table sometime in the not too distant future, brother. We miss you. D&D getting let out. Absolutely. It's my gift from my oldest daughter. It's got the tour dates on the back. If you follow me on Twitter, I am _Dungeon Delver on Twitter, by the way. You can see this has the tour dates on the back, as it should be. Bill, thank you. Can I work the Prophet of Beans as an NPC character tonight? That name got you laughing. Well, you paid for it, and it's fairly harmless, so I suppose we'll see. No, I'm going to leave that up there till it winds down. My other two players have pinged me, and we'll be they'll be joining us. We've got just a few extra minutes, so be cool. Be cool if you've come here expecting to play, or I'm sorry, expecting to watch us play. If you come expecting to watch us play, AD&D is going to happen. It's going to happen. I got a couple of players hanging out in the green room. Mark plays Abner, our magic user. He's Abner's minded. No, that kind of fell flat. Flatter than a duo dimension spell. And he popped up in the chat a few minutes ago, the one, the only TK playing Sir Outlier, the dwarven fighter cleric. I play a human fighter. Okay, that's pretty basic. Okay, you all meet in a tavern. Are there humans there? Yes. I draw my sword and attack. Oh, a human fighter. Not a human fighter, a human fighter. Gotcha. Oh, old Grognard, I'm sorry about that. We'll roleplay lots of creations back in the library. That's awesome, Starlaw. Which, by the way, Starlaw, are you taking that from Star Frontiers, or are you taking that from the Iron Crown Enterprises supplement for Space Master? Kill people and take their stuff. You'd pull that joke. Yeah. Death Angel Shadow, the history teacher in middle school, sponsored the D&D club. That was 86. He did Civil War reenactments. Uncle Brat's ready for chaos. Thank you, Uncle Brat. Chaos. Chaos. Ah. Don't worry, we don't have any warp poison in my Greyhawk game yet. Hey, there's Baron von Headbanger is checking in. So we are waiting on Doom Sword. Doom. It is 9:05, and we are waiting for Doom. By the way, I should point out, speaking of Doom, the video game Doom is, as of now, brace yourselves, Doom is 30 years old, not 20. It didn't come out a decade ago. It wasn't a few years back. Doom by John Romero and John Carmack and all the other awesome people at id Software, including Sandy Peterson, I might point out. Sandy, Call of Cthulhu Peterson, had a hand in it. The Doom MIDI file into Sandy City refers to Sandy Peterson. 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Doom. I still play Doom. Like classic. I play a source port. I play Brutal Doom. Just for the screams and yells and the additional gore. And I know people are very divided on Doom versus Brutal Doom. Damn it, Doomsword, you came in through the audience entrance and you're sitting out there. You need to go out, come back around the side, down the alley, and then back into the entrance for the talent so you can get here. So we're going to be starting just as soon as Doomsword gets here. Yeah, I filled my head with Doom lore. I forget to clean the gutters on a quarterly basis, but I can tell you the name of Doom Guy's great-grandfather. I like Quake okay. Quake is very unsettling. Quake is, and I don't mean in the sense of my stomach. Quake's atmosphere is extremely, like there's something wrong with Quake. And it carries over into other Quake 1 engine games. Like there is something unsettling about Half-Life. Lux, welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, private chat. Let me see what that is. Right on. Okay, so Doomsword is getting some audio issues sorted out, so I'm going to don my headphones. And for those of you who have been patiently waiting, those of you who have been sitting there going, where is it? Well, I've got some news for you. The man in the back said everyone attack. So let's get going and let me introduce the players. Old school. Thank you. Thank you for the super old school. We appreciate it. Thank you for being super old school. Let's welcome our players, everyone, and say good evening to Mark, who plays Abner, the magic user.
Hello.
TK as Sir Outlier, the dwarven cleric with attitude and a jaw like Rock Hudson's. And, of course, the ever-humble hero himself, Cork, played by Baron von Headbanger. Greetings, gentlemen.
And you're right, Cork. Let's go ahead. Lord Corrion's in the audience. Let's drag him back in here.
Lord Corion, get your butt in here.
Yeah, right.
we would love to have Lord Corion back at the game, but I understand you got some real life stuff seeping in, my friend. We kept your seat warm for you, buddy. When you're ready to get back, for those of you who are new to the show, that this is not some deep show lore. We don't have much, but Lord Corion was one of the first people who played. I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, fans at home, fellow cast members, but did he not start with us in the afternoons? Was he not there that early? I could be wrong. About that.
He joined,
or shortly thereafter.
I think he was the second to join.
Yeah.
And we still have his +1 plate mail and his +2 longsword, and we are saving those.
They're being used by other people.
Well, let me put it this way: we haven't sold them.
Yeah, well, I was borrowing the sword for a while, but
yeah. Well, now you have a Vorpal sword, so
but now I got a
sword's
Vorpal
free.
sword.
I think he's still wearing his plate mail.
So, was that too early in the afternoon? Okay.
We haven't sold him. We haven't sold him back to the gem merchant yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, gentlemen, I gave you XP for your encounter, your under Greyhawk encounter, just for the monsters that you dealt with, and it came out to 1,601, I believe I said, or was it 1,611?
1161.
1161. Okay, all right. That sounded a little too generous. So it was 1161 each for.
Sad.
What's that?
I have 18,666 experience points split, like, for each of my classes.
Mm-hmm.
And now that is dead. The number of the beast is dead.
Sorry. I could level cap you and just make that your XP ever.
That's valid. Make it 6666666.
Leslie, there was a brief wedge one afternoon a couple of weeks ago on Twitter when I had 666 followers, and I did straight to the video. I linked straight to the video, and then somebody else followed me, and it, now it's just like, I guess the next I could do is some Van Halen if I get 1,984, or if I wanted to go a little oblique, I could go with some Eurythmics, but I'm getting too far afield here. You gentlemen are in the city of Greyhawk. You have dealt with accounts and matters there. Where do you wish to go, and what do you wish to do?
There is still, unfortunately, sadly, a little bit of accounting, or we can put it off till later. There are some gems that should be liquidated, and
Indeed.
a sogging bag of cockatrice body that at least needs to be dropped off at the alchemist said, do something with this.
Yes.
Okay.
I will go to the gem merchant and do
Yes.
the gem things, because I would eventually like to level insofar as I should be able to here soon.
I actually got enough to hit third. So how much does it cost to train?
1,500 per previous class level.
Yes. So basically, you would essentially, based on your grade that you get for your role play, which of course, as everyone else has been par excellence, you will receive the standard 1 week, and it is 1,500 per week per existing level. So for you, it will cost 3,000 gold and require a week's training to level.
Okay, well, I got the gold, so all right.
Okay. So you will go to the chapel of Hieronius. Was it Hieronius? It was Hieronius.
Yeah.
You will go to the chapel of Hieronius, and you fast, you pray,
Swing sword.
swing a sword, more fasting, more praying during the week.
Make a little love.
Only if you were a paladin of Maris. Okay. Let's see. Let's roll some hit points to see what you gain. What do you want me to roll, or do you want to roll?
Oh, go ahead.
I got a mean old number 9. That is 9 hit points. 9 hit points.
Sweet. Well, that puts me at 22.
If if I can get my hands on 3,000 more gold, I can level my fighter from levels 4 to 5, DM allowing.
Let's liquidate the.
Well, yeah, let's see
gems
what
then.
we got, and let's see what we can put towards that.
Yep.
I
I did
had
spend
them-
a lot of my money on eventually getting plate mail, but that's because, let's face it, I need better armor eventually.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen and players in the game, hide your wallets and your loved ones, because the one, the only Turgo has entered the game.
All right.
Being a
Turgo,
Turgo.
you can
Sorry, guys.
Hey, real life happens. Real life
Yep.
happens.
Too
Right?
much.
Well, the last 20 minutes was spent figuring out why my mic and camera, everything USB except for my mouse just wasn't working.
Oh, I feel you. I feel you. Okay, so you're currently in the city of Greyhawk, and you guys have set Clara up with her own apartment, correct?
As far as I'm
Her own
concerned, she's
quarters,
pretty much
her own
set with Sword in
quarters.
arms.
Yeah, her own quarters. Yeah.
Okay. So during that week that he's training, Doomsword, does Turgo have a list of the gems? Do any of you have a list of the gems? Let me ask you that.
Yeah, gems and javelins. I want to sell both.
Yeah,
Not
we got
at the
javelins.
same store.
Didn't we already deal with the gems
No,
last time?
no.
No, there's new ones.
These are the gems that were put in the safe deposit box because of party paranoia.
Oh, right. Right. I thought we had come up with what they were worth and all that sort of thing.
They haven't been sold. I don't have the notes for them.
Right. So,
I found a
Have a
grocery
look.
list, but nothing about gems.
The grocery list. Awesome.
Could be just as important. Gotta have those vittles.
yeah, I'm not seeing the gems here.
Let's see.
Well, if you guys don't know what you have,
They must have been all 1,000 diamonds, 1,000 gold piece diamonds. They must have been. That's why we didn't write it down.
That's right. Yeah,
perhaps not. Perhaps not. The case may be.
my hand was shaking too much to write that.
All right. So let's see. I'm looking.
I don't know if you search.
Is it perhaps in the Discord?
That's immediately where I'm looking, yes.
While your redoubtable paladin is training, you have 5 javelins of unknown sort,
I know
and
they're magical, but yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
they
so-
were lightning. I got
Yeah.
lightning written down.
They were identified.
Oh, yes, they
Javelins of
were
lightning.
identified, yeah.
they were identified as javelins of lightning. That is correct.
So we sold off those. Did we sell off those 16 gems, including the pink diamond? Because that's the last batch I remember.
Yeah, we sold off a big chunk
Yeah,
before
and then
we
there
came
was
back
the
down
other-
here.
There was some jewelry and some gems, I think.
That was
Yeah,
the
we had.
least. Sorry.
Right, I think we had sold off most of that stuff. At least the stuff that we had got 2 sessions ago.
The
Or
gems
3.
that weren't from the thief hideout.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
stuff,
That's
yeah.
the ones that I don't have notated.
Same. I did not notate the not in permanent chat. I put
Yeah.
them in the disposable chat.
Yeah,
Right,
sorry.
I think
all
I didn't
all have-
notate them because I was having audio issues.
All I have written here is chest has a bunch of gems, 16. Platinum coins spill out about 430 platinum pieces. That was the treasure we got from the beggar guildmaster.
Right. Oh, you want to roll those gems in Discord?
See what they do. How much we get.
It'll tell you all about them.
There's
All
another
right.
gem roller in Discord now.
Huh?
Yes, we should have a gem generator in Discord. What is the syntax for it, Doomsword?
I think it's exclamation point gemstones and then space, however many you got.
All right. we'll go try that out. That is one of the features our Discord has. We have a rather feature-rich
I'm going to go
Discord
try
that does lots of
now.
things.
Hey, it works.
Yeah, it comes straight out of the DMG too. It tells you what they are, the type,
that is
you know,
fantastic.
That
And
makes my
explodes
life
and all
easier.
that.
Hey, Turgo, can you make sure that always rolls higher when Bill's doing it for us?
Yeah, really. Can we like?
I mean, I suppose the Discord API does allow you to identify who used the command.
Good, because I rolled pretty badly. All things considered.
Okay. So this is what you have, and this is it. Are you ready for this? All right.
Yes.
All right. I am going to paste this into the private chat, but I'm going to read this to the group. You have, and for the audience to hear, you have a 500 gold piece aquamarine, a 6 gold piece agate, a 10 gold piece rhodochrosite, 50 gold piece coral, 500 gold piece garnet, 500 gold piece periodot, 1,000 gold piece oriental amethyst, 350 gold piece spinel, 60 gold piece jasper, 50 gold piece citrine, 1,000 gold piece topaz, 75 gold piece moonstone, 90 gold piece jade. So that is what you have for your gemstones, and I put that in the back room for you gents.
Got it. Thank you.
So, taking those and then dealing with the javelins, how much can we get for them?
All right, so you have 5 javelins of lightning to sell also. And for those of you folks at home, sometimes the A in AD&D stands for accounting. This can happen. So let's see. Javelins of lightning, come on.
If we're lucky, I might actually be able to get enough to level. We'll see. The gems by themselves are almost worth enough.
Vince asks, what language? Was that in Python, Doomsword?
No, C sharp. It uses a D sharp plus library.
Okay, how did we do the same math and end up with a completely different result, Abner?
Because I suck at math even with a calculator sometimes.
Well, okay. So I like your number better.
I will double check.
I got that one.
I will double check.
Okay. I got that one. My math is horrible, and I'm blind.
And we're all blind.
That's fair. I'd say that's my disability, but that's how we have classes. But how much can we get for those javelins, I wonder?
Well, there is an armorer there in Greyhawk who does deal in mystical magic items who you might consult.
Let's try there, because I tried one armorer who was actually making my armor, and he didn't want them. So
correct.
Not even for credit towards the armor.
I know, and that was like I was willing to be like, just credit, like you know. But,
We tried.
Oh well, yeah, we did. And not too many people tell this beautiful face no. So
if you guys remember, he's like handsome Dexter. If you remember that episode of Dexter's Lab. So
yeah.
your friendly magical arms dealer there in Greyhawk, and he's actually part of a caravan that is traveling to parts unknown, is Luke Swall, and Luke offers you. Well, good dwarf, I am told that these are indeed magical javelins of lightning, yes?
I have it on better authority than my own.
All right, he summons over his one of his traveling companions, who just happens to be someone skilled in such things. He extends his hand and says, may I?
By all means.
All right. He hefts the javelin. He doesn't throw it, but he kind of goes through the throwing motions and says, they're exceptionally finely balanced. They do exhibit a magic about them. I cannot ascertain exactly what it is, but based on these engravings, perhaps they are javelins of lightning. And he has a brief conversation with his employer in a tongue that you don't recognize.
I can show him a letter from the sage that identified it, if that would make any difference.
Oh, that would make a lot of difference, actually.
I will produce said letter.
All right. He starts. Oh well, you should have led with this, good dwarf. Then, what do you say to an even 10,000 for the quintet of them?
12.
You drive a hard bargain, good dwarf, but 12 it shall be.
Good. Hopefully take me on faith next time, and I will take your offer on faith. Sound good?
But of course, may fortune find you well.
Absolutely. And I hope that we see each other again.
Indeed.
Okay, so I will take my 12,000, and I will take my 3, give the remainder to the party.
Okay.
Sound fair?
Yep.
Sure. I will figure out what the shares for everybody is.
Okay. Actually, my apologies. I'm going to take 4, if only because I would like 1,000 left in my pocket.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me add this to my little thing, and I'll tell you what everyone's shares from the gems, etc., are.
Okay. Then.
Thank you.
Then DM.
Yes.
After selling the gems, can I also go level?
You are leveling as a fighter.
As a fighter.
The guild will gladly beat on you for a week. Yes.
Awesome. I have a hard head.
Pay them for the privilege of doing it.
Indeed.
I'm gonna have to do the same. I already had enough XP to level, but I was short like 309 gold, and I assume my cut will plus the I haven't even added the additional XP. What was that? 1611 or something? I'm looking for it and I can't find it here.
Congratulations.
It was 1161.
1161. Dyslexia.
I just put the split of the party in our little StreamYard chat.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Now, you players, be sure to capture that before we quit, because once I quit StreamYard, it's gone forever.
Yep.
That's excluding me, right?
No, it included you.
Ooh.
You're gonna make it difficult on me? Hold on.
Well, hey, I'm just asking. I'm used to being poor. Okay.
Let's just leave it split like this.
That's fine.
You're saving for the next level.
DM.
Yes, sir.
I gained 3 hit points. I just rolled.
Excellent.
And that's including that I've already divided by 2. And I will do all of the checking, blah blah, to see if my saving throws or anything change.
Okay.
Where is that table?
Saving throw charts and whatnot, they're in the Dungeon Master's Guide. What level did you go from and to?
Fighter 4 to 5.
It will not change.
Okay, cool.
Bill, while Abner is not leveling, something we started talking about maybe a couple sessions ago was Abner was looking for a fighter to be his henchman. He had already given money to Darwesh to be my agent to go help me look for one.
That is correct. So
that's what I will do while everyone else is training.
Yeah, and I can just to go back to that. Am I able to train?
Of course.
Because I've got plenty of everything that I need for that. That'll put me at 7th level.
And what are you looking for in terms of a fighting man?
A fighting person, doesn't need
A
to be a
fighting
man,
person.
who will basically be my bodyguard. My hirelings are insufficient. I'll
You can
keep
call him
Hilda.
Betty.
I'll keep Hilda as the person who will guard the house, but I need someone beefier to guard me. So a fighter, person with armor, which I'll provide, can use a shield. If they can use a longsword, big plus, because I happen to have a longsword. That would be good for them.
For your week's employment by of Darawesh as your agent, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Old school. Have a good one.
I'm a swashbuckling prefect. I should be using a sword and buckler now.
Okay. There's an able-bodied fellow. He is a veteran of the peasant levies. Kind of tall and gawky looking, but knows, to grab the leather-wrapped end of the sword and not the pointy, shiny end. His name is Torque. And Torque, T-O-R-K, Torque.
No relation.
And
I don't think.
At any rate, Torque says, "Oh yes, I was told that you're looking for a fighting man. It occurs to you that Torque might be a bit on the young side."
That's fine. We're all young once. If you do good service, you might live to be older. I'll pay well. I'll give you good equipment. You will stand by me. Your first duty is to defend me. Your second duty is probably to defend the rest of my colleagues, but me first. And when successful, you will get a share of my treasure.
What is Abner's charisma, please?
Not good enough.
Oh.
Actually, 14, pretty good.
Well,
14,
he saw
yeah.
your face and he was a believer then.
Yeah. He was dazzled by all the sequins on my outfit.
Yeah, he couldn't leave you if you tried.
Oh, how sweet.
Okay, so Torque will take you up on the offer, and he says, but of course, having left the landed armies of the free city of Greyhawk, I am in need of equipment, my lord.
Can you use a longsword?
But of course.
I have one. I have armor. Let's go. You're hired.
Excellent.
Do you have to tell next of kin or anybody?
Not your stepping stone.
Do you have to notify next of kin?
All right. So yes, hiring him is that easy.
We should measure him for a fun box while we're here as well.
So
I'll stat Torque up in between games.
We have banded armor spare. We have spare shield. We have some other spare crap. And we have the sword of bean counting, which I made sure was spare. That sword is going to my henchman. Thank you very much.
But unless Corian rejoins us. It is his sword.
Okay, meta. If I will not give it to my henchman if he's going to be taken away, that's going to be bad for loyalty. If I give him the sword, he keeps the sword. I have read the loyalty
kill the
charts.
henchman, it's no longer a problem.
It'll be a problem between us. So
well, I've already killed henchmen and stuff like that, and it worked out fine.
Yeah. So as a meta comment, do y'all want me to leave the sword for Lord Corion? I'll do that. But the whole reason I was like, oh, I've got this extra sword, I'll give it to my henchman.
Well, he's here. Is he going to answer?
Yeah.
Lord
Yeah.
Corion, if you're in the chat, here's your one chance to save your sword. You've got 30 seconds.
Want to jump in and super chat after
Yeah.
the 30 seconds is expired.
Right.
Everything else costs $1 permanently.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead and give away the sword.
all right.
That's the other players doing that to you guys, putting money in my pocket out of yours for your character in my game.
Thank you, Lord Corion. Okay, so
Okay.
he's getting magic sword.
All right.
And I'll deal with the rest of the little mechanics here. You'll stat him up, and we'll figure that part out. when
Worst
it
comes
becomes
to worst.
necessary.
Worst comes to worst, he has a +2 to attacks and does D8 +2 in damage.
Yeah, basically. Cool.
So yeah, you guys handed him a potent magic weapon right off the bat. Guess whose loyalty just went up by like double-digit percentages?
I've looked at those charts. I know about it.
Stay out of the Dungeon Master's Guide. You'll go blind. Elder
When
Scrolls, those games, you read it, you're like, I'm not a DM, I'm going blind.
When you come back with this dude, I am going to cast Detect Evil.
Sure.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
I can do that for free. You don't have to waste a spell.
That's fair. He doesn't go off. Well, to be fair, I wouldn't believe you, so I'm going to cast it anyway.
You can ask him his alignment and watch that loyalty go straight down the tube.
That's why I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to cast it and stare at him.
Now, for those of you who are curious about this, alignment, of course, matters, particularly when you have a paladin in a party. In first edition AD&D, paladins are all lawful good. They have to be, and that's the way it should be. But that's another rant. But loyalty, as we were talking about, is a base stat for henchmen and hirelings and other allied creatures. They just gave this guy a magic sword, a talking magic sword. It is an exceptional sword. That is a huge bonus to his loyalty. His base loyalty. So if we look at loyalty base, it's 50%. Plus or minus charisma adjustment, which I think a 14 is what, a +5, something like that.
It's not +5 loyalty.
Yeah, it's not bad. So he's a henchman, so that's another +5. Length of employment -5. However, you just gave him a powerful magic item, exceptional bonus gift items, so that's +10. So he's at 65% right from the start.
And
His loyalty is 65%.
And I'm not casting Detect Evil, I'm casting No Alignment. So.
Okay. Well, Torque here is lawful neutral.
Fine by me. Man after my own heart.
That's the best alignment.
Agreed.
Also, Abner will have to buy some pearls and goldfish for identify spells. Is that just going to be a straight 100 or?
Yeah, that's just yeah. You can get that.
I'll buy a few of those.
I swear, I'm going to buy you your own goldfish farm.
Yeah, exactly. We'll put it next to the longhouse.
Abner, what are you using to pay for that? By the way, do you just have pocket money?
Pocket money, stuff out of the bank.
Yeah, you're going to have to hit the bank up because your pouch is not on your belt.
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Who took the pouch? Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, don't know. Okay. I will erase the items that were in my belt pouch. Damn you.
Yeah, hopefully that wasn't Wand of Wonder, Torque of Sphere of Annihilation Control.
I do need to pick up a couple rations and things, but nothing big. I presume that's all just standard fare.
Yeah, you can just look in the player's handbook and cover it.
I got rations covered for you.
Whiskey still the same price it always was?
Yes.
All right, 5 gold in a bottle of whiskey. 1 gold for an oil flask. Holy water is still 25 a pop.
Yes.
I
Okay.
need a couple of those.
Yeah, I'm gonna refill back to my usual carrying of 4. That's important now, but okay. Otherwise, I'm good to go whenever we're done leveling.
Yep. Same here.
All right. So the week passes other than Abner bumping into somebody.
So, are you sure you don't want me to cast Glyph of Warding on your belt pouch? So at least when the person goes to open it, you hear an "ow."
No. I'm just not going to carry a build pouch anymore.
What are you going to carry? A fanny pack?
Yeah, a fanny pack will be perfect.
I can still cast on the fanny pack.
Okay. While you guys are doing this, you're kind of undergoing this. You do pass a group of. They're obviously religious pilgrims. You know that they have tambourines and they're chanting as they go down the Greyhawk, the one of the thoroughfares in Greyhawk. You're not sure what god they're on about, but it has something to do with beans. That was per a super chat earlier. I promised I would put that in for super chat. Someone paid for that. So
and that's the quality content you get for your money.
That is the quality content that your money buys when you support this channel via super chats. And I can't emphasize strongly enough the 16 people who've left since this started that what you're missing out on. But it was the Prophet of Beans. Bill Trethaway asked the Prophet of Beans as an NPC character, and these are followers of the Prophet of Beans. The beans are the way. The beans are the way. You must study the beans. Do you interact with these people at all?
No. Beans make me gassy.
Okay, so the rest of the time passes uneventfully. Is there anything at all you guys wish to do else?
I'll need a D6 for hit points, kind sir.
All right.
Roll well.
That is a 4 for you, sir. That is a 4.
Nice. Thank
slightly
you.
Above average. Slightly above average.
Yeah, good enough.
Viking Hat points out, super chat enough, and when he's back running Traveler in a few weeks, he'll do a total party kill.
I was pretty sure he was going for that for free.
Yeah, that's gratis.
With the way last season ended, yeah, probably.
Okay, group, what do you wish to do?
Head back
to the castle.
Yeah, I don't have anything to replenish. I'm good.
I will
Yep.
take my dog. I'm sure I haven't really seen him for a week, so he misses me, and I will go and let's go back in and avoid sewers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see now.
And we get murdered by trolls on the way there.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to do it, but now that you bring it up. Stop it. All right. Early the first day, you are more or less out in the scrubby plains. It is winter, by the way. It's about this time of year in Greyhawk, so bitter cold nights and bitter cold days to boot. For those of you who are curious, the latitude of the city of Greyhawk is commensurate with that of Chicago in our own world. So you can do the mathy weather there.
What do you do?
There is a group of merchants. They are not the same ones that you bought your, or rather that you sold your javelins to. They are passing nearby. Do you wish to stop and speak with them or buy any provisions or provender from them?
No.
All right. So we will just make a couple more checks here. You pass the last chance in. Are you stopping for one more warm night in proper beds?
Nah.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
Yep, pass it up. Agreed.
Damien asks if the spell enlarge person does it work on animals. No, there is an enlarge animals spell, though. That does not work on people.
Which could actually be smart to prep with my dog, but...
Okay, you arrive at the longhouse, and it is much as you had left it not quite 2 weeks ago now. Abner, your men set about to going in and getting a fire started. Torque says, is this an inn? Is this a property that you own?
It is a property we use. It is traditional for us adventurers to stay here at this fine establishment, because you can see over there, down that road, is the castle that we will be investigating.
Yes, I do see it. That gray pile of stone yonder.
Yes. It'll be interesting the first time you enter.
Okay. What do you guys wish to do?
I'm going to check the barn for giant spiders or foreign residents. It's been, a month since we've been here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it hasn't been that long. It's been a little more than a fortnight. So you're going over to check the barn, you say?
Yeah, me and my dog.
Okay. There is just kind of roaming around in the yard near the horse pen. There is a small herd of deer. They kind of start. Oh, Bill Trethway sponsoring Cork. Thank you so much, Bill. You have a sponsor. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you want me to do with that, but there you go. There you go, Baron Von Headbanger. You have a sponsor.
Oh, awesome. I've never had one before.
The
I don't know what to do.
The pretty ladies throwing themselves at the paladin, like always.
Hey, I'm not getting between that. So yeah, there is a small herd of deer. They're eyeing you carefully as they might. Your dog is a trained war dog, so he doesn't set up a barking, but his hackles are up just a bit.
Okay, but nothing inside the building?
No.
Okay. I'll go ahead and take the.
Mark, super chatted that. I might have had something for you there. Mark in chat said fleshy here. So no, the barn itself is just fine.
Okay, good.
Okay, so go ahead.
What time of day do we arrive at the Longhouse?
You arrive in the morning.
Oh. Shall we rest up and then go into the castle?
Yes. Let's also teach. Torque the password
Yes.
to the front door. Also, is the spell still there?
Yes, the spell is still there.
Excellent.
Tell him the password after he sets it off the first time.
I mean,
No.
I don't want to kill
He
him.
won't survive it.
It would
Okay.
kill him. For you, it'd be funny. For him, he'd be dead.
Which would still be funny.
Also
Don't
funny,
misunderstand it.
But yeah. Otherwise, if it's the morning, provided we have had some measure of sleep, we're not tired or anything. Let's go ahead and move in.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice and cozy. Not even really any cobwebs because, it's bitter cold and the spiders are not there. Mark Hoover says, in all honesty, you're living pretty close to the bone these days. Oh no, Mark, no. I kid about that. That's always a jest. That is always absolutely a jest. The best thing, the best support I get from the channel is subscriptions and thanks and comments, and that keeps the videos up. I feel like I need to take a moment as Dungeon Master of Ceremonies and owner of this channel to point out I don't expect anyone to super chat. If somebody started nattering me and insists something happened in the game, I might say, well, if you pay for it, perhaps. But guys, I don't. Trust me. That is, your participation here is wonderful. Mark. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, so let's continue. You are settled in. The fire is going. It's nice and toasty warm, and you hate to leave it. Are you going to rest for a while, then go to Castle Greyhawk, or are you just going to pack your stuff in and head straight for the funhouse?
I think we're going to stay a night, aren't we? And then go the next day, or is?
No, it sounded like we had all our spells and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, let's settle in a little bit. Right, we were on the road. Maybe after lunch.
Reacclimate.
Lunch.
Right.
Yeah. We'll go to the castle after lunch.
Okay.
It's not like the castle's going to leave. Now it does.
That's when they were trampled by the moving castle.
But the whole thing is a mimic, actually.
His cartoon, the something moving castle.
Howl's Moving Castle, one of my favorites. Is the zombie house still there, or rather, is its ashen ruin still there?
It's not ashen ruins. It's a freshly dug and fieldstone lined cellar.
Oh.
Cool.
Wait. Why cool?
Well, think of it this way. I've seen this before, right? So last time we went in, right, it immediately rebuilt itself.
Okay.
Right? Immediately. And then following that, right, it was all set on fire and burned down, right?
Yeah.
And then now that it's slowly recovering, which means that if it does, in a year or whatever, fully recover, I don't know, we can set it on fire again.
So you're suggesting that the debris has cleared away on its own and it is rebuilding itself?
Absolutely.
Fascinating.
I would say this is weird, but
we'll have to keep an eye on this. It's interesting for it to be tracked, as Abner wants to scribble in his notebook while taking all notes.
It's taken it 2 months, I think, maybe to get this far.
We hadn't looked at it too closely for a while. We assumed it was always here. We'll keep better track of it now. That'll be interesting.
And that's why I was asking every time we saw it.
I think we are planning on going into the tower of is it wizardry? The one with the elevator?
99999. Elevator. We'll do the elevator this time.
Yes, the tower, which is in the tower of something, and I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, flipping.
I thought it was the Tower of Wizardry. We go past all that stuff, and then we get to the
The one
elevator.
straight in the back.
It is the Tower of Wizardry. Yes. We'll go to the Tower of Wizardry. Is the door open?
The door is slightly ajar.
No, it's a door.
It's a jar of pickles.
Jar on you. Everybody save versus spells to avoid being possessed by the door.
Is the same terrible chair still in there and the pamphlets?
So you're opening the door to see that?
Yeah.
Yes. I'll go ahead and open it.
Okay.
Wooden trap.
You can wrench the door open with ease, and I'm going to need everyone in the party to give me a saving throw versus fear as a wand.
Oh, crap.
I passed with a 16 plus.
Okay.
Save v wands, right?
Yes, save the wands.
Easy pass.
Oh, Agner
Paladin
fails horribly.
Okay.
So
What
sad.
is that off of? I don't know what that's off of.
It's a rod, staff, or wand.
Yep.
Yeah. Wand. Torque passes.
Okay.
Darowech fails. It is a foot race between Abner and Darowech as they sprint away from the tower, and I'll tell you why in just a moment.
I rolled a 16 total.
Cork, you passed. And what about Turgo?
I rolled a 13 and needed a 12.
You passed. So Darwish and Abner turn and go running when a blood-curdling scream is let out when you open the door.
Cool. Anything else?
There's the table, the plants. You don't see a pamphlet holder, but you do see a piece, a bit of parchment is lying on the table.
And nothing that made that scream.
Nothing that made that scream.
Shall I investigate the parchment?
Yeah, go for it.
Do we need to go after, or just wait till they get back, or
Why don't you go after them?
I'm fine with that.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast detect magic.
I'll wait till he's done with that.
The entire damn tower radiates magic.
Yes, no, but more specifically, what in front of me?
The table, the bit of paper, okay. Mark.
Yes.
You and Darwesh basically spend the next 10 minutes running as fast as you possibly can out of the castle. In fact, I'm going to need you to give me a saving throw. Make it versus paralysis when you reach the log.
Nope. Failed that too.
Woo! You're gonna get
You
wet.
hit the log at a dead run with no consideration for your well-being, right off with a loud splash. Darwesh, however, sprints across the log like it was a broad, flat, open road. You are lying in icy, muddy water. Now you know the castle is trying to kill you. You stand up, wade through the muck, which is almost up to your chest, and just start clawing at the bank, trying to drag yourself up.
Did Torque, by the way, follow me?
Oh yeah, Torque's your hired man, and he sir, Mr. Abner, and he is Torque is standing. He just caught up with you, and is like, do you want a rope, sir?
Help me out, damn it! I must get away.
So yeah, Torque is carefully walking across the log. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, what are you guys doing?
Oh, anything? Does my detect magic, like, does that parchment have enervation? What am I getting? Because you said everything's magical, but it should also tell me what type. So what am I getting here?
Okay, so there's illusion magic. Strong illusion magic is what you were detecting.
Thank you. Yeah, you'll be fine, Turgo. Go ahead, pick it up. Look around. It won't kill
All
you.
right. If you say so.
Scouts.
Yeah, I'll creep forward slowly and silently, hopefully, toward the table and the piece of parchment. And then
Okay.
yeah.
The piece of parchment looks like it is from a previous pamphlet, but it has been torn so that it is just a single page. Scrawled on it in a reddish brown substance. It looks like maybe someone bit their fingertip off and wrote there, "Come and go as you like. I'll kill every last one of you. Ha 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 ha."
It's just your standard message, outlier.
It's for you, outlier.
That's valid. Actually, here's a spell that I've had prepped for quite some time, but I'm not quite sure if it will be of help. I'd like to ask my god a question.
Okay. While you are preparing your spell and your question, Abner, you spend the next 3 minutes in abject horror and fear, and then it slowly kind of dissipates. It fades away, and it's about that time that Darawesh comes jogging back, and he said, "By the gods, what was that?" Abner? Torque, where's Abner? And Torque's, he's got a line wrapped around him, and he's a little help. So Torque and Darwish raise you up. You were in your standard traveling clothes, right? Not your fancy magician's robes?
Muted.
Damn it!
Mark's so angry. I just muted yelling.
My clothes have been ruined. Yeah, Abner is going to take Torque back to the longhouse. Darwish, go to your master. Go to Turco.
Okay. While that's going on, what are you asking?
I'm going to cast Augury with the one amount of powdered pearl that I have. And I'm going to ask with like a 70, I think it's like a 75% chance that it'll be correct,
Okay.
because it's 70 plus 1% per level. Is it wise to continue further?
Why you guys got to ask questions like that?
Well, I just literally got a death threat in blood. So, does my god think it's like, if I walk into the next room, am I going to die, right? So, like, is it wise to continue further, right?
Yes, it is wise to continue further.
Okay, we can ignore the note. We're good. My god says it's cool. We're fine.
Good. What if it's not my god, though?
I mean, that's valid, but once you can cast spells and talk to gods, you go ahead and do that. Until then,
I suppose this means I'm continuing to go first.
Yes.
I don't want to live forever.
I don't want you to live forever either. It's fun dragging your unconscious.
Oh, nor do I want you to.
Indeed. I have 2 hold persons left to speak with animals in a cliff of warding.
Okay. So yeah, it's about this time that Darwish returns, and he says, My sincere apologies, Turgo. That was not mere fear. I was compelled to leave.
I understand, good sir. I ran once. I expect you will do the same.
Oh, Torque pulled Abner from the moat. I expect he was returning to the longhouse for a change of clothes. He was soaked to the bone, and in this weather, I think he would have been coughing and sneezing and giving away our location in the dungeon.
So I guess we're going to wait for him here.
I guess so.
So, Mark, what is Abner doing?
Abner is going back to the longhouse, getting changed quickly. Basically tossing all his dirty clothes to his valet. Stuart says, "Clean this."
All right.
Taking another suit and going, and he has a ring of warmth. So he was a little cold, then he was like, okay, this is okay. This is
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
The
mostly
initial
gross.
shock, and then the ring of warmth kicks in, and you're like, oh, no, okay.
But he couldn't be seen with such filthy clothes, so he had to go change.
Understandable.
Okay, so the cockatrice is now back. Sorry, my brain just caught up to this. The cockatrice is now back at the alchemist, right?
Yes, you've caught up to a couple hours ago.
Hey, my brain's here.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's below the table.
I fully understand.
Did his chat buffer just cycle over? Is that what this witnessed?
It's gone around to the beginning again.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then while we're, I guess, kicking around, waiting, what does small talk between a thief and a dwarf sound like?
I figure the two of you just stare at each other a lot and don't really say anything. That's how I imagine.
We say stuff like,
your interactions.
"Watch your back. I wouldn't want anything unfortunate to happen to you."
Yeah, it's like a half hour of subtle put downs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not so subtle. I hope so.
Okay, so is Abner back?
Yeah, we'll see if he bumps into something, and that's when Bill rolled a huge ancient green dragon.
Again.
He gets by the road, and a cart goes by and splashes water on him again.
Use the pseudo dragon as bait.
Okay, so you return, you don't step in anything, and so just for those who are curious, why I made them make saving throws when they went running across the log is it's a fairly narrow log, and in that situation, since they were running hellbent for leather, I deemed they were taking no precautions as they crossed it, as per the auspices of a fear spell. Torque, or rather, Darawesh rolled a 20. Abner,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He cartwheeled across. He cartwheeled across.
As Abner gets to the tower, he's a little nervous. Looks in carefully and says, "Torque, you go first."
Sadly, I don't have a calm emotion spell prepped.
All right, there you are. Which way do you wish to go? Torque says, so what is this we're looking for? Stairs? Do we go to the left or to the right?
We send Torque to the right, we all go to the left.
No.
Everybody must be hazed. Everyone must be hazed.
Yes. Torque, first lesson. Don't listen to him usually. If you wonder, ask me. In this case, don't listen to him. We're going to take a magical device around this way.
Very well.
Turgo, do you wish to go first?
It matters not what I wish. It's the circumstance I find myself in.
Yeah, let's go. I'll go with you.
Shall I move silently, or shall we travel two abreast?
Well, I'm going clank, 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 so.
Abner pockets the parchment He'll add it to his collection of pamphlets.
Okay. So all these pamphlets welcome you to Castle Greyhawk. It was slightly sinister comic strips, and then you get this thing that's just like from the Manson family.
I suppose I'll go first then.
Cast that up. It's tired with being subtle at you. Okay. Turgo steps around the bend in the outer hallway of the tower, and as soon as he's out of sight, you no longer hear him.
Cool. I'll dig the wax into my ears and follow him.
Okay. Turgo, you are standing in front of the elevation chamber.
Okay, I'll take it.
Slightly polished brushed metal doors are closed, and there is the series of recessed studs next to it.
All right, and nothing out of the ordinary, floor, wall, ceiling, nothing like that. It seems just the way we left it.
It does. It is the same strange alien-looking construction it always has been.
Is this the type of thing that might pick up fingerprints that I might be able to look for?
The metal?
Yes.
Yeah. It actually, if you reach out and touch it, it smudges very easily.
All right. Do I see anything like that? Examining it closely for a moment.
Careful examination? No.
Okay. I'll wait for the party to arrive.
I'll breathe on it and draw a smiley face just for you.
Wash me.
That's going to be on the next note.
The print, the heel of your hand. And
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So floor. How many floors were there again?
I don't remember.
You don't recall.
Well, how many buttons were there? We can count those.
On the outside, there's just the one button.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Pushing the one
Just
button.
one.
Yeah.
There's a bong, and the doors slide open. And you're looking into a space that is, you think, well, you're a dwarf, it's 8 feet by 8 feet 1 inch. And that bothers the hell out of you.
That's valid. It would. And how many buttons like that? On the
There are 3 rows of 10 buttons.
Dear Christ.
We always go to the first level.
Torque points at the right-hand lowermost button and says, "Is it this one?"
No.
Just close your eyes and
Step back.
He just goes, crack,
Like my kids, basically.
slides his hand down the panel.
And we get off at the first floor and leave him for the rest.
Yeah.
Hold person, step off.
He and Darwish are fighting over who gets to press the buttons.
I'm sorry. I apologize. There are 2 rows of 10. I said 3 rows. There are 2 rows of 10.
Good. Okay, that's a little better. Do we want to do
30 levels.
Do we want to do the second level then? Or not?
No, there is still plenty of things that we have never done on the first level.
which one's sporting goods?
That's level 4. Oh no, wait, that's lingerie. Oops.
Shop
So
that smart.
I suggest still going to the first level down, do more exploration.
Yes, I seem to remember us going around the corner that was full of fear, and I believe that ended in a dead end, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
That was if
that's
we
the
went
other
to
side of the
right.
elevator.
Yeah.
Right.
The first level down have things like a lot of troglodytes we fought, a trap
Yep.
door, a mirrored passage we have never investigated. There is a passage beyond the temple that we met the interesting hound and Tamuskar at. There is an area with 4 doors. We've only ever gone in 2 of them.
There were
Et
some
cetera, et
ogres.
cetera, et cetera. There were some ogres. Yes.
Mhm.
Right.
So and then
That is
there's
definitely interesting.
and then directly from the room where the elevator debouches out, there is a southern passage we have never looked down.
Let's go there.
Yes.
All right.
Agreed. Are you keeping our map, Abner?
Yes.
Somebody has to.
Excellent.
I got my graph paper. I'm an old school guy with a pencil.
Okay, so where are you going? Are you what button are you guys pushing for?
Top
The-
left-hand button.
Yep.
Okay. Top left-hand button.
Oh, they're
Door.
reversed. We go to level 20.
Yeah, right. We have had this thing break on us and do that before.
Yeah.
And you guys didn't want to get off and explore. I am disappointed.
We came face to face with a dragon the moment we walked out that door. It's irrelevant that it was brass.
Complain. Okay.
You're welcome.
There is a faint chiming noise as the door slides shut. You all kind of feel sort of a jarring sensation. It begins to go down, and there is pleasant but very saccharine music seemingly coming from everywhere around you.
Which Abner grooves to. He likes it.
Is it
Yeah.
still the girl from Ipanema?
It is still it is the maiden from the land of Ipa Nima. This lasts for perhaps a round. The music stops. There's another chime. The doors slide open, and you are looking out into a dark rectangular chamber, which you recognize. This stretches towards the east. Adventurers, you have arrived at your floor.
Everybody out and immediately turn south.
Well, go out to. There's a passage there.
de las Puertas.
And Abner has one of our continual light lanterns that he's holding aloft, and
Okay.
that's what he's using for light.
Okay,
So yeah,
well,
across this passage, across this room, I believe there's an opening. Correct.
Yes, about 50 feet across. In the southeast corner, there is a passage that looks like it extends to the due east.
Okay. Let's go out that way.
All right, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very well. And I'll take like we usually do. I'll stand just outside the edge of the torchlight, which I assume to be basically a little farther outside the edge of the torchlight where the sounds don't interrupt my attempts to be silent, and then
Okay.
followed up by Outlier and Darwesh and the dog and Court. I mean, I don't know how you guys want to exactly handle that.
Court, you and me, Darwesh behind, and Dog, I don't know, in front of me. Sound good? Okay.
Is the continual light lantern a bullseye, or is it just a standard hurricane lantern?
It was a standard lantern. I think we have it that it could be closed off to be darkened, but it's not a bullseye.
Okay.
The one for the cart is a bullseye.
All right. So, yeah, anywhere in this room is illuminated. It is as bright as daylight in this room. You could use this to treat people with seasonal affective disorder. That's how bright continual light is.
So I need to stay 40 or 50 feet ahead of the group.
To be out of the light, you need to stay 60 or 70 feet ahead of the group.
All right, 60 or whatever it takes. And hopefully that's enough to eliminate any sound to where, it's barely perceptible behind me that they're traveling forward.
Okay, and to get out of that radius, you will need to be actually out of the room. You will need to go to the junction intersection beyond this room.
Right, and that's fine.
Okay, directly ahead of you, you have a passage that goes 10 feet and then turns due north. To your immediate right, you have a hallway that goes south 20 feet, comes to an intersection, and continues south past that at least another 40 feet.
Okay, I'll take out my collapsible 10-foot pole and expand it. and use that to probe the floor ahead of me, moving very carefully. I've been bit by the ceiling, bit by the floor, bit by the right wall, bit by the left wall, all of it. And then I'll move forward until I can turn to my right.
But he had not been bit by a doorknob.
I've been bit by doors.
All right, so you go forward till you come to the corner, and you said you're going to keep going until you can turn right, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so you make that left turn. You are now facing north. 10 feet beyond where you are, there is an opening to the right, and the corridor continues on past that to another opening, which looks like a room beyond.
Okay. And I'll, at this point, and I assume regularly, but I'll just say at this point, want to stand by that corner and wait for the party to catch up a little bit, to where I feel like, I know that they're only 10 feet or so behind.
Yep, always following.
Okay.
Alrighty. You can hear their footfalls because they're not being quiet, Doomsword.
Right. Do I suspect that they can see me?
You went around the corner. Well, no, actually, you're looking north. You didn't say you went around the corner. My mistake. Yeah, because the light is starting to shine on you. Now, when Doomsword, or when Turgo walked away from you into the darkness, you couldn't hear. Once he got out of your sight, he was gone. He was gone. But now you can kind of see his outline being silhouetted by the continual light lantern.
That's what I generally try to time, just for sake of discussion. So at that point, once I feel that they can see like the back of my cloak or something, I'll hang a right into that passageway. I don't want to go full on into another room.
Yep. All right,
okay.
So hanging right.
In following Turgo, am I correct that after we left the room, we went north?
We went. I thought we were going to go south.
Yeah. But we're following Turgo. I just want to make sure to see if it matches my map to.
I intended to make a right while I was facing due east, so I intended to go south. I did hear Bill mention something about north.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to break immersion.
Sure I know where we are.
Right.
I'm fine with it either way.
Okay, Turgo, from the north, you can hear sounds of shuffling and a muttering voice. Yes, light. There's light. Do they bring sweet meats? So hungry. Yes. Yes, I see you. Be still. Be still. You will satiate me. It is right. It is proper. You will join the Brotherhood. I am coming. Make haste. Make haste. Do not fret. Do not fret. In your infravision, you can't really see anything in that direction. But there is definitely something rather noisily shuffling towards you. It only sounds like one. What do you wish to do?
Okay, so I'm right at the edge of the entrance to the larger area. Is that the case?
No, I didn't. Unless you went north, it was my understanding
Right.
you were standing in the corner.
Yeah, I was standing there. Right. I'm going to maintain my position. I can't see him. I'll wait till he comes within range of my infravision. If he can move faster than that, oh well. I will. I'll drop the pole and draw my weapons.
Okay. Your sword is magic, correct?
Yes, that and the dagger I use in the offhand.
All right, so you're now illuminated, and the voice. Let's see. You're actually a little startled by that, so you're like, So you're drawing your weapons, and the shuffling is getting closer. There's a sort of pale bluish, yellowish skinned creature with the digitigrade, basically backwards bent knees, balding, lips peeled back, yellow teeth, a little bit of drool coming out. Ah, no! Put the bright metal away. I will eat you now. And he's getting close, and he smells like an open grave. So he spends his round shuffling towards you, and you are face to face with a ghoul. The rest of you hear this from your position. So let's go ahead and get declarations. Turgo, you're squaring off against this thing. What do you wish to do?
Yeah, I tell it I am the Brotherhood of Death, and you will join permanently. And I'm going to attack this thing for sure.
Okay, the rest of you, you hear this going on. You're 20, 30 feet away. Mark, what does Abner wish to do?
He will advance with Torque in front of him. Of course, by advance, I mean stay behind everybody else, but he'll move forward.
Right. The hindmost.
Yes.
Abner, the hindmost. TK, what about Outlier?
Turn undead. I turn automatically.
Okay. BVH, what of Cork?
Well, I was going to draw my sword and run up there.
Absolutely.
Bye.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we can get parting strikes on it.
Yeah. Ghouls wild.
All right. And finally,
can I my dog and turn at the same time.
I mean, yeah, it's dropping a leash and pulling out your holy symbol, so I guess.
Okay, thank you.
And yeah, so Torque and Darawesh. Darawesh is Turgo's employee, so he's quickly moving up, and Abner, Torque is sticking with you. Since it's pretty much over to you, Turgo, or Doomsword, why don't you roll initiative? Let me know when you've rolled.
Oh, 6.
He rolls a 3. Make your attack. The rest of the party, you are spending this round moving forward.
All right. Well, the longsword misses, and they're both misses.
Okay. He kind of jerks away and says, "No, not correct. You mustn't fight."
Fight I will, beast.
No, not a beast. Proper. That is proper. You will be eaten. So he lunges at you with his clawed hands and his open, slavering mouth. He does 3 points of damage. Give me a saving throw versus paralysis. Misses with that hand, and misses with his bite.
I rolled an 11. I'm pretty sure that's a fail.
All right, let's have a quick look. Saving throw versus paralysis. Any magic rings, cloaks, anything like that to add to?
No, just magic armor, which does nothing. So.
No, your magic armor absolutely will add a bonus.
Will it? So that's studded leather +1, which I guess would make me need a 12, and I rolled an 11 + 1 = 12.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of feel like this shock go through you. In this case, Yes, magic armor and magic leather armor will absolutely lend to you.
Great.
So you take 6 points of damage as one of his dirty, long 3-inch nails scraped like just right along your jawline. Put your blades down. Put them down. It is not how this is done.
I'll put my blade down when your head rests next to it.
No, that's not proper. So the rest of you get around the corner. There's a ghoul standing next to Turgo. It's got one claw like hooked in his vest, but Turgo jerks back from that, and it smacks him in the face and draws a little bit of blood. Mark, what is Abner doing, and what is he having Torque do?
We're still advancing.
You guys have advanced in this round, and now you have gotten there. That's
gotcha.
what you did in the previous round. You are now there in full sight. This is a well-mannered ghoul.
I am actually going to not hold my action, but I will stand ready to do anything because I think it's probably Outlier's job to do something about this. It is a ghoul. So Abner does nothing. Tells Torque to stay with him.
How fast can my dog move?
In this range, he will basically be there in a segment.
Well, yeah, that's because I just don't know his movement speed because I thought he might have been there already. But
I assumed you guys were. I mean, that was his action. He could be there before you, but it's not like he could move and act in the previous round.
Exactly. Okay, but I just want to know, was he there already? Right. Okay, so if my dog's there, otherwise I'm going to turn. My dog's going to bite.
Okay. Cork. Cork can actually turn undead now. You're 3rd level, correct?
Yes, I am.
You wanna have your holy symbol on standby just in case?
Sure.
All right. Doomsword, is Turgo going to try and strike it again?
Yes.
All right.
I turn ghouls automatically.
Okay. He sees you rush around and looks very confused and perplexed and says, No, I just want one. I want one, only one to eat. The Brotherhood is not here. I only want one. Give me this one.
Slim chance, creature.
TK, roll initiative, please.
Sure. 4.
Okay, he lunges forward and tries again to seize Turgo. That's a miss with a claw attack. That is a hit with a claw attack. So, actually, you know what? I've said that. Now let me double check. By the way, is that destroy or turn?
It is just turn, sadly, so he will flee, hopefully.
Okay.
And my AC is 3.
Oh, your AC is 3? That might actually... yeah, give me a saving throw versus paralysis again, please.
I'm running through these dice like a champion here.
I'll take 3
Come
more
on.
points.
That will be an 11, which is a fail.
Okay. Jorge, thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it. So Turgo cries out, goes stiff, and the ghoul immediately begins to like drag him backwards, saying, I will only take the one. The one. I just want this one. I can only eat the one. You hold up your holy symbol, and he is now fleeing, dragging Turgo behind him.
My dog hits AC 5.
Armor class 5. Okay. Cork was turning. Torque is guarding Abner. However, Darwish says, that's my bread and butter. Hits. He leaps forward and slashes the things back.
What does he have? Scimitar +2 or something?
2.
+1?
Yes.
+2?
Yes.
Does AC 5 hit?
AC 5. I think so. No, it does not.
Okay.
Like he grabs like rotten, tattered cloth hanging off of this thing, probably part of a burial shroud, and this thing just kind of kicks his leg. So he drags Turgo about 10 feet down the hall in an effort to get away.
You must move directly away.
Roll 3d4, please, if you would, TK. 3d4.
Absolutely. Because it's for 3 to 12 rounds.
Yes.
4, 2, and 1. So 7.
Okay, so yeah, he's Turgo, you're like facing an odd angle. You don't know what's going on. It's horrible. Darkness imprisoning you, all that you see, absolute horror. So yeah, he's dragged Turgo. These things are pretty quick, actually. So I'm going to say he moves about 30 feet, dragging Turgo, and takes a blow to the back, and he cries out in pain. Mark, what is Abner doing?
Is he still holding on to and dragging Turgo?
Oh, yes.
How far away is he from me?
30 feet.
Excellent. I'll put a web across the hallway to engulf just the front of him, so Turgo will be behind him.
Okay. And he is dragging him. He's terrified of the holy symbol, but he's not leaving a meal behind.
Yeah, of course. Hey,
Al-
Abby yells out, "That's my thief. You can't take him."
TK, what is Outlier doing?
I'm going to chuck some holy water at him since I don't think I can catch him with my short legs.
Fair enough. Cork?
Can I get up to him? Because I want to swing at him.
You will be moving in this round, but you can absolutely get to him
Okay.
if you want to move in this round.
Yep.
And I hate to put words in a character's mouth, but Turgo goes, "Ah!"
That's fine. Better you than me.
BVH, why don't you roll initiative, please?
Alrighty. Oh, wow, a whopping 1.
Okay. He moves another 30 feet with what is the casting range, not the area of effect, the range on web.
I know. I have made a calculation error. He is now out of range, so my web goes between us and him.
Oh, no.
Spider-Man.
Does my dog make it to him?
Yeah, your dog spends this round charging after him.
And the same with Darwish and Cork, maybe they'll be on the other side of the web.
Mhm.
So yes, Darwish and Cork are in full pursuit. They get to him, and he's no, it is mine. The holy symbol pushes me back. It drives me away. Oh, we have a super here from Bill. Would like Thayan's God to aid Turgo somehow during battle. I am sure Turgo would like that also. All right.
Turgo does prefer that.
He's still shuffling back.
Do I get my throw before the web spell goes off?
Yes, missile fire will go before your web. Make a 2-hit roll.
That's not
That's
bad.
the help.
15 plus 2, so 17 for a 5th level fighter.
17 minus 2 because of range. Which level fighter? I'm sorry?
I am level 5.
Level 5. That will probably hit. Oh, dang it.
It's an AC 1, including the minus 2.
Yeah, curse splash. So it's holy water, and it is 1 to 6.
Oh, only 1 to 6. Okay.
Wish granted.
Not so much. That's 2.
It helps.
He is hooting and screaming now, burned with holy water. The web Vash! Like you see you see it go, and then you hear Abner yell, "Achoo!" So there's a
Useless
web
wizard.
now between you and them, which incidentally also cuts off. Well, no, they both got swords. They both got magic swords. So in the next round, Turgo, obviously you're not doing anything. Mark, what is Abner doing?
Abner is now
Standing there looking at your hands.
What have I done? Is cursing and trying to light a torch so he can burn the web.
Okay. TK, what is Outlier doing? Are you setting Abner on fire to try and burn the webs?
Yeah.
I'm considering it. There
Yeah.
will be a lot of cursing about useless wizards and their incompetence. I will call for my dog to continue his attack. I'm basically just going to issue another attack command and prep holy water for as soon as those webs are burned.
Okay, and last but not least, what about our good friend Cork?
I'm still after him. If I got past the web, I'm still going after him.
Okay, so
I
it's
want to swing as soon as I can.
yeah, he is still in full retreat. So you, Torque, and Darawesh may all attack him and the dog.
Okay.
Ooh, that hits.
Torque's not there. Torque's with me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you sent Torque in pursuit. Okay, so it's you and Darawesh.
And Torque is cleaning his clothes and polishing his boots or whatever.
Yeah. That's
The
what
eight-
Torque's for.
AC 3.
AC3 will hit. Yes.
15 hit.
15 will hit. Yes.
Okay.
6 damage from the doggo.
Okay.
11.
11 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys like your sword cuts him mostly in half, and the dog pulling on his arm to like drag him away from Turgo like, finishes ripping him in half at an angle. No,
Beefy ghoul.
All right.
he cease and desists there on the floor. His gooey black ichor is sort of seeping out onto the floor. Turgo, you're kind of half under him. You just wish you could just reach up and pinch your nose off, but you can't. Okay, so
Can we burn the webs away so I can go heal Turgo?
yes, Abner, you get your torch out in this round and can burn the webs.
Okay.
Can I cast a Cure Light Wounds on Turgo?
Yes, you can.
Give my dog head pats. That is 3 hit points back for Turgo. It doesn't cure the paralysis, does it?
I have heard
Okay.
that the paralysis of a ghoul can take hours to go away. Perhaps we should drag him back into near the elevator where it's defensible.
Yeah. While we drag him, I'll cure him again for another 4.
Well, I'll just carry him. I'm not going to drag him.
He is completely cured, and they are carrying you back.
I'll shake him a little, be like, I've cured you. Why is this not working?
Okay, so you have 9 turns of ghoul paralysis remaining once you get him back to the elevator.
Sadly, I did not prep that spell.
Do you want to use his body to block the door so the goblins can... There's a little basic set joke for you, Dungeon Minister. I hope you appreciated that.
We'll lay him across the ground, so hopefully they trip.
Yeah.
Is he stiff? Can he be posed? like a mannequin?
You know, I'm not going to say he can't. I will leave that up to the discretion of the party. Put sunglasses on him, put a drink in his hand, lean him against the wall.
Going to use him for a javelin.
I'm paralyzed, but I assume that I can still hear and I can
Yes.
still see.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and I won't forget this.
Which is what makes ghoul and carrion crawler paralysis all the more horrible.
Yeah.
We're gonna give him a beer.
I remember when you teabagged me, Abner. You're going to pay for that.
And there went it being a family-friendly show, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. That's just that
It's just, what are you guys talking about? It's the crouching from Quake. Come on.
Just because I
Susan
can't bleep
going over to the frat and pulling that network cable out. Little joke for the IT guys. Okay, so you have 9 turns. What do you guys want to do?
Well, let's take Sergo back, go in the elevator, and wait up in the first floor. How's that sound?
Wait up in the tower? Up.
Yeah, ground floor.
We can do the bottle flip challenge with Turgo. See if he lands on his feet.
I mean, we
I can
could.
see and hear that too.
I can caber toss him.
I think we could just wait here. Or do you think it's not safe enough?
If it's going to be 9 turns, that's 90 minutes, right?
That's true. Okay, we'll go upstairs. Back in the elevator. Press the up button.
Yeah. Takes us 1 turn to get back to the elevator, and then we just wait the other 8 there.
Okay.
I'm gonna slap Turgo every couple of minutes because I don't know when it's gonna wear off, so it should be pow. Nope. Pow. And I can imagine the more impatient I get, the more often it happens.
The more impatient you get, the less the gems and jewelry become worth.
I'm the one with the charisma.
Damnedest thing, guys. That fist-sized ruby, he only gave me 50 gold for it.
I don't know what happened. What fist size ruby?
So we make our way back up to the ground floor of the Tower of Wizardry.
Yep.
Sit him down in the chair in front of the table, and we wait.
Yep.
Okay.
Slap him, douse him in water. right in his
Just leave
forehead.
him alone.
That's impossible. You know that, Abner. It's just a grease pencil. Come on. He finally has eyebrows. See? Pesky elf.
His eyebrows were probably burnt off with a hobgoblin trap all those months ago.
So there's the chair, there's the table, the door is slightly ajar. Fairly, shady there in Rogue Scholar says I got earbuds in, listening on a phone. I saw it in my subs and clicked on it and was messing around on Twitter. Okay, cool. Casey says the paralyzed must be hazed.
Oh.
Yo, Rogue Scholar.
All right. Oh, why is that? Sorry, I opened a PDF and it immediately shrank down to tiny Istrano vision. All right. So you drop Turgo in the chair.
That is my one complaint about Osric. The book is printed so tiny. So tiny.
That's the neat thing. You don't need to see it. So when you drop Sturgo in the chair, hang on a second. When you drop Turgo in the chair,
We've never sat in the chair before, have we?
you've never sat in the chair. You dragged one of the chairs out.
I did not mean Doomsword, please believe me.
Yeah. Somebody stuffed me in the thing that they wanted to test out that nobody else was willing to. I can see and hear all of that stuff too. No, I'm going to the Assassin's Guild as soon as this is over with and meeting with my contacts.
And the one friend you have amongst the party, you're about to shank him. It'll be great.
The dwarf is my friend. That's unbelievable.
All right. Everyone involved in throwing Turgo into the chair there in the waiting room needs to give me a save versus poison, as there is a release of a cloud of yellowish dust
That's what you get.
underneath the chair.
I pass.
Okay.
Oh, I have to roll for my dog too, I guess.
17.
You made it.
My
Mark,
dog gets a 9.
Yes.
were you there?
I was, but do you think Abner was helping at all? No, of course not. Yes, I'll roll. I'll roll. Poison you? Oh, crap. Does
All
the
right.
periapt of health help me? I don't know if it does.
Let's see.
It's disease.
And my dog gets a 9.
We'll have a TPK from sitting in a chair. Great.
No, from throwing your party member in a chair.
No, did not throw. We placed you in a chair.
Whoever failed were the people responsible.
That's definitely me.
So my dog,
I was trying to be a nice guy.
Your dog rolled a 9. How many hit dice does your dog have?
2, well, 1 plus 1, and I don't know how big the cloud is because he'd just be in the room. Like, he's not dragging Turgo or something. Like,
Okay, it's 10 by 10 by 10 is the cloud that outgasses.
so I would guess my dog wouldn't be in that. I would be, because if somebody's schlepping Turgo, it's going to be me and the paladin.
Fair enough. Abner, your periaptive health unfortunately does not help you in this instant.
That's fair.
You all start coughing and wheezing and sneezing and choking as from somewhere behind the chair, a cloud of yellow mold spores billows out.
Ooh.
Abner, you hear Abner try to draw in a breath, and it sounds like he's trying to inhale a doorknob. And falls over with a thud.
Just trying to be a nice guy and I get killed. I hate this game. Damn D&D.
Doesn't yellow mold do damage based on how warm you are?
Does yellow mold do damage based on how warm you are?
I'm thinking of the basic
brown mold.
I'm thinking of basic fantasy, where it's every like 10 degrees above 50 degrees Fahrenheit the person is, it deals like D8 damage.
Brown mold. That's brown mold. This is
Yeah, okay.
This one just gets into your chest and you die.
Yeah.
Welcome to a new character.
Welcome to Super Asperilla. I mean, your character can be raised.
Oh, I know.
Man.
Well, okay, so I guess the death is immediate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, done.
I can animate dead his corpse. That's the same thing, right?
Yeah. You reanimate his corpse, the paladin instantly kills it, and then kills you.
I mean, maybe.
Cure disease and resurrection, cure disease and resurrection are necessary within 24 hours to save such victims.
Well,
I will deem that the Rod of Resurrection will also do the trick.
well, remember, we don't have the Rod of
We don't have it.
Resurrection.
Whoops.
Yeah, exactly.
The best we can do is cast Cure Disease tomorrow. Actually, Cure Disease as soon as I can memorize it, which would be tomorrow morning.
I can do it now.
Or the Paladin can do it now.
Yeah.
Could you do it in response to him getting it? As like an immediate thing? Would that save Abner?
No, it's pretty much instantaneous.
Damn, and I thought hemorrhagic smallpox was bad. Okay. So yeah, we can't get back to Greyhawk in less than 24 hours. So
You could pray for divine intervention.
Can Abner get divine intervention from Bacab the Uncaring?
My
The
followers.
uncaring.
Yes. Yeah.
Paladin, you and me together, I guess. Let's
Yeah.
see if our gods will do something.
Okay, we'll try it.
The
All right.
god of super chat rains down upon you.
It's the only shot
I
we've got.
donated money to Outlier's God one time. I don't know
You
if that
did.
helps.
You did. You've donated more than I have, technically.
Okay. So here's what we're
Man.
going to make the roll. We are at the finish line for the night. I'm going to make the roll. We're going to find out next week what it was.
Yes.
We're going to get on a
I knew
cliffhanger
that was coming.
as to whether or not okay, and
You
both
are-
of you are praying.
Yeah.
You are a yellow mold Aladdin.
Okay. All right, folks. Well, we'll find out next week. I want to thank everyone for the super chats. Thank you for being a wonderful audience tonight, guys. We peaked out at like 70 something folks on the chat tonight. What happens to Abner's hireling? Well, that depends on what that die roll was. So thank you again to everyone tonight who sat in on the chat. We'll be back tomorrow night. I'll be talking more AD&D. Kyle will not be here on the show tomorrow night, but I will be talking more Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. I've got a couple of videos coming, maybe one tonight, definitely one tomorrow. Lord Corion, thank you. Maybe the alchemist at the party says, maybe that alchemist the party pays. Maybe he's got something. He gets eaten by a grue. Miss Bella Games, thank you for the stream. It was your first time watching, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you, Miss Bella. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. I'm gonna turn things off. I forgot to run the closing credits last night, and shame on me for doing that because they're awesome closing credits. But what I'm going to do is leave you guys here. You can keep commenting while the closing credits are running, guys. And thank you, as always, to my participants. I'll see everybody tomorrow night. Have an absolutely, positively wonderful and positive and forward-thinking day. Peace, everybody.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.